Welcome to the overview of a patient chart guide. Here we're going to be talking about the chart before you go in and actually use the tools to begin documenting an encounter. As you see at the top, we have the patient's name, their MR number, their date of birth and age, the insurance information associated with this patient, their last visit date, and two options, one a pen and pad that will allow you to view your current narrative once you're actually in the charting tool, and of course the one next to it is the X, which will close this chart out. Below this first line we have a drop down for the rendering provider, which should default to your name once you sign in. We also have a section for service location, again, which should default. Date of service listed as today. Below this line, we have a section to select your encounter sheet, which would be the template that you're using to document this current encounter. The follow-up tool arrow, which will be discussed later in depth. A drop-down for canned sheets, which can only be selected once you select an initial template. The option to edit a selected canned sheet if you have one selected here. And the button New Consultation Chart. And this blue button, although it may change in verbiage, always means the same thing. It means start a new encounter or a new visit. Below this demographic information and drop-down menu selection area, we have the main area of the face sheet. These variables, also referred to as highlight values, show variables that are going to be pulled in from past charting. If we look at family history, for example, we have a father was deceased at age 82. This note was made on the 1st of March. Further back, in December 7th of 2011, we have that there was a family history documented of asthma. So as we do real-time charting, what we're doing also is pulling the ones tagged as highlight values, the variables tagged as highlight values, into the face sheet. And what this is allowing us to do is to create a document for our reference that we can take a look at before we actually go in and create an encounter or open up a template. Finally, we move down to the bottom of the chart where we have some navigational tabs. And we're going to go over those in detail right now. The Current Encounter tab will allow us to return to the charting tool if for some reason we've navigated away from it. As we have no template open yet, it's not going to show us anything. Click on Encounter Sheet box to select an encounter sheet and create a new encounter. We never click the New Consultation button, so nothing is going to appear here. But if we have a template open and we navigate away by clicking perhaps one of these other tabs at the bottom, we can always return to our charting by clicking on the Current Encounter tab. The next tab is the Visit History tab. The Visit History tab shows a list of all of the encounters that have been completed, created, or started for this patient. If we look on the left side, we have a list of check marks. These check marks indicate that the charts were saved as complete. If we move down, we have some other icons here. One is a red stick figure. This chart was saved as ready for exam. The charts are arranged chronologically, and we can open them to take a look at them by clicking on any of the text in this section. You can see on the right side that we have charts with information filled in. If there needs to be an addendum or a correction created, we can click on the Addendum or Correction tab from here to make a change. Some reasons for this might be if the patient canceled their next appointment, or if we got their weight wrong and wish to change it to 165, or if we got their BMI incorrect. The schedule history is self-explanatory. It shows the entire schedule history for this patient. The Alerts tab allows us to either create or view any alerts for this particular patient. The Document Management tab is a very useful tool. It allows us to store any sorts of paper documents that the patient may come in with. Here we can put in paper documentation a couple of ways. We can scan if our computer is directly hooked up to a scanner, or if not, we can drag and drop files from our desktop or copy and paste files from our desktop into the box in the upper right. From there, it's just a matter of putting in the required information, setting a file type and document type, and clicking the Upload File link. Clicking the Face Sheet tab will take us back to that very first page, the Face Sheet.